morning. Good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona, coming to you live from the Ironwood Meetup here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument. Thanks everybody for being here. Let me see who we have here in the comments. Go up to the top here. Can everybody give me a 1 if I'm coming in okay? I'm live streaming from my phone, linked from my laptop, linked to my phone, and I want to make sure it's coming in okay. Ice Shoes Crafty Kids Club was first. There we have Van Life Voyages. Good morning, good morning. There is Tim. Tim's on the way back home. We enjoyed spending some time with him here at the meetup, and he brought some really good chili with him to share. We have Mike Aquatics and Things. Good morning, good morning. Wonder Lala. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for being here. Kaz is here. Good morning, Kaz. Thanks for joining us. Scrolling. We have Mellow Nomadic Adventures. Good morning, Marshall. Thanks for joining us. Traveling Tramps, a channel member and great supporter. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, Dave and Kathy, for coming in. Appreciate it. Ava Potterfield, always a great supporter, and always appreciate her shouting me out. Now, Ava Potterfield and friends just made her 1,000 subscriber milestone. So congratulations to Ava Potterfield and friends and Doug. And we have Grace in the background. Hi, Grace.
Hi.
California travel videos. Good morning. Good morning.
Is your beautiful wife awake?
She is.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to go say hi.
All right. And Ava's saying hello. And scrolling. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Diane Phoenix is here, one of the best moderators in the business. Good morning, Diane. Lillian is here. Good morning. Thank you. Aussie Van Man is here. Thank you for joining us. Scrolling. So I'm going to go down to the bottom of the chat here and make sure that you guys gave me some 1s. Does everything sound okay? Fox Fan D is here. Good morning, D. Thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It sure is. Roy and Becky's Travels is here. Channel member. Thank you guys for joining us. Mom of 4 is here. My friendly pup is here. Good morning. Good morning. Well, I think I got everybody pretty much. Oh, One Jaws Jr. Scott is here. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Dave Wanders is here. Hello, Dave. Thank you. I got to meet Dave here during the meetup. Came out. He and his wife came out and joined us. All right. Everything sounds good. That's good to know. All right. So at a meetup, you know it's over with. We started on February the 2nd, and you know it's over with when the pineapple shows up. So the pineapple showed up last night. Last night was the last day of the meetup. The pineapple shows up. So we're in the process of cleaning up, and everyone is moving off on their next, their journey to their next destination. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that we did during the meetup and some of the fun that we had. And one of the organizers that put all this together, co-hosted. So it was Fit for Expedition Greg, Ron from Ron Sees America, Mellow Nomadic Adventures, Marshall, and ourselves. The 4 of us put this meet together, and it went really well. And I'd like to introduce you to Marshall right here, and we're going to discuss how we put this together and how it turned out. So there's Marshall. Good morning, Marshall. How you doing?
Good morning, Steve. I'm doing great.
Good, good. So how many people did we have show up?
So last count I looked, we had about 39 people show up. So that was a really great turnout for our second year. I was really pleased to see. I think we all were kind of surprised to see so many people here. It looks like, let me do a rig count real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 29 rigs.
29 rigs total.
39 people. Yep.
And 39 people showed up. That's great. And we had a great time. So when folks showed up, Marshall did this login sheet here. And he had this really cool booklet. And you actually sell this booklet, right?
This one was one I just picked up.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
But you do sell some things on your mellownomadic.com website.
Yes, I do have some journals that are made by Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and they are listed on the website.
Okay. So in this is a really cool introduction. And so I'll read it to you. Welcome to our meetup. Meet and connect with other YouTube content creators and nomads in the desert. This meetup is open to all types of rigs and communities. Our first annual event took place December 30th, 2021 through January 2nd, 2022. Please sign this guest book and share your best contact information and any social media handles you want. Thank you for being here. And so folks signed in and gave us information, and then he also listed us folks who helped put this together, and then we can stay connected, and then you can also let folks know next year kind of when the scheduling is and what we have planned for next year.
Exactly. We're working on building a phone number list so that we can communicate better when we're when we're into the meetup. We'll be able to have everyone's phone number so that if there's any changes to the schedule, last minute changes, if any of the outings get moved for whatever reason, we'll be able to send a text out to everybody and update everyone. So
yeah. And we also had a number of events that we scheduled. So to go to a meetup, and sometimes you just sit around and hang out around the campfire, and we did a lot of that. Every evening we had a campfire, and I had wood delivered thanks to Gracie and Jacques' adventures. And then every day we tried to schedule something for folks to do that wanted to go out and explore the Ironwood Forest National Monument and the surrounding evening. So for example, we signed up petroglyphs, and we scheduled a time. The folks that signed up, we loaded them in a car, and we went out and showed them some petroglyphs. We also had a glider port field trip. Now we have a glider port just down the road here. And so Ron Sees America took a group out there to see those. And Paul actually got a ride in a glider.
that's really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So while they were out there, he asked, hey, can I get a ride in one of these gliders? And they told him, come back tomorrow and we'll see what we can do. So he went back on Sunday, yesterday, and he got a ride in a glider, one of those things he's always wanted to do.
Yeah, he said it was on his bucket list, and he even got to steer the glider. So I thought that was pretty successful bucket list item for him.
Yeah, I think so. We went out to the Rock House Hotel, which is an old abandoned hotel up north here. It used to be part of the town of Sasko. And we also, while we were out there, we stopped by the Sasko ruins. We went to, the Rockland Hotel, Sasko ruins, and then we also stopped at the cemetery.
Yep. It's really neat to see all of that.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And then Greg hosted a Tuesday or Tucson night evening trip out to Tucson for those that wanted to go out and see some nightlife. And that's Greg of Fit for Expedition Fun Seekers did that. And then you hosted a YouTube strategy session yesterday, and it looked like you had quite a few takers on that. How did that go?
It went pretty well, for not being anything that was organized. I mean, I did do the sign up sheet, but I didn't have any presentation or any kind of like things
Well,
to
it was
pass
a
out.
general
But
discussion, right?
it was just like a shop talk session where we could all talk about what each of us did and get ideas from each other, so that
Right.
maybe we could learn something from each other about what each one's doing.
Sure. And how to grow your YouTube channel and different strategies and that sort of thing.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
And I recorded the presentation, and I'm gonna work on getting that. If the audio is good, if the wind didn't do too bad, I'm gonna try to just put that whole video up onto YouTube of what we were talking about.
The discussion
Yeah,
and
just
everything.
the discussion.
So
yeah.
what are some of the subjects that were brought up?
We were talking a lot about importance of titles and thumbnails, because you can spend 100 hours editing your video, but if no one clicks on it because you don't have an enticing title, you don't have an enticing thumbnail, then no one will ever know how great your video is. So it's important to win those clicks, and we do that by creating curiosity with our titles and our thumbnails. So we talked about that, and we talked about vertical videos and how almost all the social media platforms are pushing the vertical video format now, and just about a strategy where you create a vertical video, just one video, but then you cross post it to 10 other places, and that helps increase your reach and your.
So that would be like Instagram or Facebook or
Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn, Reddit. So there's a lot of options out there that you can use to cross post your content. And I don't even use Reddit, but I cross post every time I post something on YouTube. I'll cross post it into my own Reddit that I created for Mellow Nomadic Adventures. So
all right,
cool.
And you talk about being concise.
Yeah.
One thing your channel's all about. What do you know about your channel? So a channel like an adventure channel, what would you suggest for an adventure channel as far as being more concise?
Well, for an adventure channel, I would say pick the one thing you're most passionate about. So, that could be hiking, that could be mountain climbing, whitewater rafting, horseback riding, whatever you're into. Try to focus on one thing when you're first starting. It's really important. It's going to help YouTube categorize your channel. And once they know what category you're in, they're going to be able to share it with the groups of people that they've already identified as being into hiking or being into mountain climbing. So that can help. We also talked about the media kit for those looking to try to build relationships with brands, local businesses, and even state tourism boards. And a media kit is just a 2-sheet PDF where you include some of your original photography and some stats about your channel and what you're about. And you can send that out once you've created it. You can send that out to different places, and it helps you secure brand sponsorships and brand deals, and even deals with tourism boards. So that's
very cool. All right. Okay, I want to get back to the chat here and say hello to everybody who's coming in, and then we'll discuss a little bit more. Let me go back here. Orville Nation is here. Thanks for joining us. Tracy is here. Good morning. Good morning. I think I said hi to Box Fan D. Mona Schartzer is here. Any relation?
Yeah, that's my mama.
That's your mom? Oh, cool.
Hi, Mom.
Very cool. Thanks, Mom, for joining us. Appreciate it very much.
Watching from Kentucky.
Awesome. In Kentucky. Well, your son is behaving himself. I've been watching him all weekend. And,
yep.
And he's been doing good work here. So Tracy says we're not unable to do any other trips other than town. Yeah, a lot of us can't travel. but there are a lot of us that are nomads and travel all the time. Diane, the brain trust. I don't know about that, Marshall. What do you think?
What is it? The brain
The
trust.
brain trust.
Hey, kind of like the ring of that.
Yeah. Destinations Delight is here. Good morning, Crystal. And I appreciate all the moderators saying hello to everybody. That helps a lot, makes everybody feel welcome. There's Happy Place Camping. Good morning, Felix. Good morning. And she's saying hi to Marshall.
Hi, Felix. Hope you and you all are doing great out there.
And scrolling. All right, Ava's working. You know, that's that 4-letter word.
Oh man,
Work. Man.
I was hoping not to hear that one today.
Yeah.
Our thoughts are with you, Ava.
Camp Goer 1 is here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Linda.
Having nice weather. Yeah. Well, it's been kind of cold at night, huh?
It's been dipping down below 40 at night.
Yeah.
We've
we're
had
in the high 30s, huh?
yeah. But the afternoons have been really beautiful.
Yeah. And we actually have poppies coming up there just to the north of us. So we were checking those out yesterday. So it looks like we might have a good spring flower event this year. All right, let me show you. I'm going to share with you our campsite here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument.
I'm so high, so high. They told me to sit back, don't make a sound, don't go to the unknown, but I'm too curious for that. Might be a little crazy, I don't mind. I like the way it feels, no need to set off the...
So that was where we were camped here. I came out a couple of days before and set up, and this area is getting more and more popular. Did you notice that this year?
I did.
Yeah.
I think you all getting that new road that's very nice helped a lot, and also just the increased amount of people talking about last year's meetup and this year's meetup and everything.
Yeah. So I came out here to secure a campground for what I thought would be 10 to 15 people. Turned out to be 39 people.
Yeah.
And how many different rigs again?
I think it was 19 different rigs.
19 different rigs.
I think.
So I was sitting out there thinking, oh my gosh, all these people are coming from all over the country to camp out here, and I don't have a campsite. So I sat out there on the road and I cruised through the campground here. There's a couple of campgrounds that are a nice flat area. We have some folks that are disabled that need some stable walking conditions, not too many rocks. We needed plenty of room for rigs and folks who are in their minivans and RVs and tents for everyone to spread out a little bit. And so I sat out by the road and I just waited and I watched. And this lady was packing up. Her and her son were packing up, and she was on this site here that I came in and set up the clam and set my chair down by the fire pit. And then I ran home and got a few more things to set up. But anyway, we were able to secure this nice site. What'd you think of this?
It was a really great site, honestly, because we had plenty of room, and there's still more room we didn't even get into. So, I thought it was really cool too that we just had some people who were already in the area who were stopping by because they seen the signs that Steve had put out, and they were inquiring about, oh, what is this Ironwood meetup? What is going on? So several people, Sean was one of them, and his daughter Aiden, they were here with Lauren, Sean, Lauren, and Aiden. Thank you all for stopping by. But just one example of a few that were just in the area and just happened to see the signs and they came over. So that was really cool.
Right. And so we had some content creators that showed up too. Quite a few of those, huh?
Yeah,
lot
quite
of
a few.
channels, yeah.
Quite a few people with channels. Let me see here. So of course Dave Wanders was here. I believe he has a channel, but I don't think he does.
He hasn't been active, but he's been talking about starting up again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just bought a new motorcycle, a smaller motorcycle, and he did some riding out here in the monument, and he came back and really enjoyed it. So he was talking about maybe doing some content on his channel again.
That would be really cool because Dave Wanders, he does motorcycle camping. So if you thought camping in a minivan was challenging, try camping with a motorcycle. I thought that was really interesting that he did that. We had Riley Does Life here. She came in with Bunny Plays here and Brock from Aussie Van Man. They all kind of came in together, and I was super excited to have them here because they're pretty well-known YouTube creators. We had Busby's Adventures. He stopped by, and it was great to meet Chris in person. So that was exciting. I thought California Travel Videos, they were here. It was awesome to finally meet Michael and Grace. And we had Sam from the Bootlegs was here, and he records live concerts. Tim, of course, it was awesome hanging out with him. Mo Bang for Your Bucks. I've lost count of how many meetups we've been together on because it's been so many. Traveling Merton and Sue is another channel, really great channel. I think Massachusetts.
Yeah, they came all the way from Massachusetts. So
Wow.
Traveling Merton and Sue, I've been watching their channel for a while, and they've been preparing for months to make this trip. And it was really cool. They bought an RV, fixed it up, got it all set up, and then had to put a new generator in it and got that installed. And they made their way across the country. And so it was really cool to see them out here at the meetup.
Yeah, it was really cool hanging out with them for sure. And they drove farther than I did. So Lonnie from the Crafty Traveler was here. Badge and Ellie were here.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
That's
that was
the first
cool.
time I got to meet Badge.
Yeah. And they brought their friend Gina, I believe was her name. I don't think she has a channel, but that was cool that they came. We had Amanda from Adventuring with Amanda and Maddie from Maddie Van Halen. They were here. So it was awesome to meet Amanda in person and Maddie. I had met Maddie before, but it was cool to see Maddie again. And Bernay was here, Fairy Dust.
Oh yeah. It was nice to see her again.
Yep. Her channel is called Fairy Dust Weep the Wild Winds. And of course, we've mentioned Gracie from Gracie and Jacques Adventures. Her and Jacques, her German Shepherd, were here. And then, of course, Greg with Fit for Expedition Fun Seekers. Ron from Ron Sees America. Steve, Desert Adventures in Arizona. And the first one I think that showed up was Mike from the Adventures of Traveling Mike.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, when I was setting up the campsite, he was on the other side over there, and I recognized his rig, so I went over there and said, "Hey, I found a campsite over here. If you want to pull over." So he actually came over here and set up and secured the campsite while I slowly got it set up. So he was the security guard.
So thank you, Mike, for being our security, for helping just add to our meetup. It's always nice to hang out with you. I actually got to meet him in Mayberry last year at the Mayberry meetup in North Carolina. So it was great to see him again. And thank you for setting up early.
Yeah. And he does live streams just about every night when he has an internet connection. Interesting conversation in there. In Adventures of Traveling Mike, he's been a nomad for 7 years, almost 7 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah, a nomad, complete 100% nomad.
Yep.
And that's very impressive. And he does it, as a disabled person, which of course makes it more challenging. But he has it set up. And I was lucky enough to do a tour of his box trailer conversion. And it's interesting how he has everything set up so that he can move around in there and do what he needs to do. So that'll be coming up on the channel very soon. Bee Bear is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Another channel member. Thanks for joining us. Let me see who else is in the chat here.
I think I seen Box Van D here earlier.
Yeah,
so
Box Van D was here. Yeah.
Ringo, Ron
Ringo,
Darrell.
yeah. And Ron Darrell Adventures is here. And we have our friend from Minnesota. Step Van Dan is here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Uh-oh. Did Ron bite someone? He needs a tooth fixed?
That's never fun to deal with.
No, it's not. Ringo is here. Good morning. Good morning. All right. And Diane has posted your link.
Oh, thank you,
to your
Diane.
channel. Yeah, she's a great moderator. Lucky Dog Productions is here. Good morning, Sue. Thanks for joining us.
Well, there's Crystal with Destination Delight.
Yeah, Crystal is here.
And one, I don't know, One Jaws.
One Jaws is
Junior.
Scott. That is,
Okay.
he does rock collecting,
Oh.
and his wife Ann J. Looks like they're taking off to do some more glider today. Ann J. Does drive streams.
Okay, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
husband
I got
and wife.
you. All right, yeah, I know Ann J, the Sunday Drives channel.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She
That's-
does a good,
awesome.
interesting Sunday drive. They just went through one of the national parks up north there,
Oh, cool.
and showed us what that was like. The one with all the geysers and
Oh yeah, what is that? Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. They went through
Yeah.
Yellowstone. That was interesting. I had never been to Yellowstone because I don't care much for the crowds. I
Yeah.
prefer sitting out in the desert with friends, but and watching other people, drive through there. But when they went through, I guess they picked a good time because it wasn't really super crowded.
That's awesome. Oh, there's Roy and Becky's Travels somewhere. That's
Roy
awesome.
and Becky are in there. Yeah,
Roy and Becky.
they're up in Quartzsite, and they'll be doing their live stream at 11 o'clock Arizona time. So that'll be about an hour and a half from now. So be sure to check them out. They're also a channel member. Yeah, Riley and Bunny are here at the meetup.
Yeah, it was cool that they came from just to come to our meetup. Like I think they were in Quartzsite or Ehrenberg one, and yeah, it was cool that they made the trip down. So
Yeah, it was nice to see them. Scrolling. Let's see. There's Felix saying hello. Oh, there's Dave Wanders commenting.
okay, you're welcome, Dave. Yeah, he wanted me to show him a little bit of my van, so I just kind of gave him the short tour there.
The nickel tour.
Yeah, the nickel tour.
Yeah. So I also did a updated van tour of your
Yep.
setup, and if you haven't seen Marshall's van, anyone who is interested in building a minivan, and a lot of us have minivans sitting in the front of the
Yeah,
house,
We do.
you can actually turn them into a camper.
Oh yeah, you can, and it's not that difficult to do it. A lot of vans have either the seating that folds into the floor, or they have seating that's easily removable, and that's really your first step. Remove the seats and fill it up with everything you
Right,
need,
right.
basically.
Yeah, put some plywood down as your floor. And,
Yeah. The plywood floor will help make it more comfortable for sure, because sometimes the vans have like those little U-bolts in the floor where the seats attach, and if you're crawling around in there on your knees or however, it just doesn't feel good when you hit one.
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
So,
for sure. That's okay, Dee. Not really chatting. I want to pay attention to Steve and Marshall. Wow.
Wow, I feel honored. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dee.
That is
That
cool.
is awesome.
Glad to have you here, Dee.
Yes.
Appreciate it. All right. So you brought something interesting with you to the meetup, and I want to share that with the group here.
Oh yeah, cool.
And let's see here. This is
Hide your chat
yeah.
or hide your comment.
I'm going to hide this. And then check this out. You'll like this.
I'm so high, so high. They told me to sit back, don't make a sound, don't go to the unknown, but I'm too curious for that. Might be a little crazy, I don't mind. I like the way it feels. No need to set off the alarm.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, that thing's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you brought this skeleton kite and put it up in the air, and it pretty well flies itself, right? You just tie it off.
Yep.
And what do you need for wind on that thing?
So that one is it's a 13-foot skeleton, and they recommend wind be at least 6 miles an hour up to 14.
Okay.
So if it goes higher than that, you risk just damaging the kite.
Okay.
And if it's lower than 6 miles an hour, it's not going to go up.
Right. And so Marshall put that kite up in the air, and I have a drone, and I thought, wow, it would be really cool if I could film that from above. And so I put the drone up in the air. It took me a while to catch it because, you know, I have a small field of view on the drone and that kite is moving around. And so I was up there. It took me probably 5 or 6 minutes before I could even pick the kite up on the camera and then start recording. But I got enough recording to make it interesting.
Yeah, it's
so
neat.
What you're doing is you're looking down on the kite and from above it while I was flying the drone. So that came out pretty good.
Yep. And when we did, so we went to the Box Fan D and Friends meetup, which was a lot of fun. It's awesome. Always an awesome time to hang out with D and Van Life Voyages. While I was there, we left there and went to Schoolypalooza, and I seen they had a giant kite, octopus kite, and that kind of inspired me. And they did the same thing. They just had their octopus kite tied off to their bus, but it helped anyone and everyone who was at that event find that bus, you know. So like, and that bus was kind of in the main circle where a lot of the events were happening. So I thought, why not try to find a kite? So I tracked down where they sold them in Quartzsite, and I was going to do the octopus, but it was 26 feet. So I thought that would be a little too much for my van.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this one was what, 13?
It's 13 feet. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
it looked really cool. You are a pro with the drone, Steve. Well, you know that Box Fan D actually flew my drone.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. At the meetup?
No, we went up there before the meetup. We went up there and met with her at her park, and I did a couple repairs for her on her fifth wheel.
Okay.
And then I had been talking to her about drones, and she had a drone previously, but she never tried to fly it. So I said, come on, Dee. And, you know, Dee was like, no, I can't. My eyes are bad. You know, I'm too old. I can't do that. I said, yes, you can. So I put the drone up and then gave her the control and walked her through how to fly it up. And she actually went up and she looked around the park there, and she did a great job. So
yeah,
you can fly a drone, and Dee did it.
That's awesome. Yeah, practice makes better, and just little practice anytime you can get it in will help.
Yeah,
it's fun flying the drone, but yeah, it takes some practice for sure, because mine's pretty jumpy when I fly mine.
Yeah. And you flew yours for the first time recently, right?
Actually, I did, and with your help, I flew it for the first time at Dee's meetup, actually. And we did a test flight there, and I recorded one kind of 10-minute clip. It was pretty neat just to see, just to kind of start getting used to the controls. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. James is here. Good morning, James Catanese. Thanks for joining us. Dee says hers would never calibrate correctly. Yeah, and that's a challenge on those drones, is getting them set up and flying right. But the ones that you and I have, the DJIs, are pretty easy to fly. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've noticed they're easy to get going, to start, launch, and it was even pretty easy to land it.
Mm-hmm. See who else we have here. So we were hoping B-Bear was going to make it, but she couldn't. But we did meet her up in Quartzsite, so that was nice.
Yeah, it was cool seeing the tongue drum she had. An instrument. It was an instrument she brought out. I don't know, maybe that big-ish, made of metal with different metal tongues that you hit with a sort of like drumsticks. These mallet-looking things. It was a neat sound. Someone else had one too. I met so many people though. I forgot the other person that had it.
And it was some good music up at Dee's Meetup too. There were people that like yourself and her friend. Was it John?
Jim? I think it was Jim
that played guitar up there, and then Dee played her ukulele, and that was really nice to have that going. Now here we had a campfire also, and we had some music provided by Mr. Wolf.
Yep, Mark Wolf. Shout out to Mark Wolf for playing the music for us on a lot of the nights. That was really cool.
Yeah. And we invited everybody from a mile around to stop in.
Yeah, we did.
If you could hear the music, then you're welcome. We cooked some hamburgers for folks. Yeah. And we had a potluck. So that was cool too. So you set up a potluck and everybody signed up. Oh, let me get rid of that comment there. Everybody signed up for potluck, and we had myself and Oki provided hamburgers. We had pineapple upside down cake from Gracie and Jacques. Sue brought a pasta dish. Diana baked beans. Mark hot dogs. You brought cupcakes. Greg from Fit for Expedition Fun Seekers brought macaroni salad. Bernae had macaroni with chili. Ron brought applesauce. Paul brought chips and chocolate.
Ooh,
that was nice. Gracie and Michael from California Travel Videos brought some chips in, a box of chips. And chips are good when you're just walking around and you need a snack. Yep. I know I use those. Tim made his famous red chilies, and he says he's still perfecting that.
Yeah.
So, believe it or not, we didn't get any egg rolls this time.
There were no egg rolls at this meetup. Yeah, it was. I understand though. Tim makes a lot of egg rolls, and he had just came from the Box Fan D meetup where he made a couple hundred, I believe.
Yeah.
So he was egg rolled out, which I understand.
Yeah. So he's perfecting some red chili, and he said this was his mom's recipe, and his first try out here in a meetup, and he said he's going to modify it some more, but that was really good. And then Maddie and Amanda brought looks like rice and beans.
Yep.
And shared that with us, so it was good to see them. And it was the first time I met Amanda.
Yep.
She has a channel too, right? Amanda's Adventures, or
it's called Adventuring with Amanda.
Adventuring with Amanda.
And it's kind of cool that she came, and I'm here, and also Diana Flanagan. We all have silver minivans, the same van.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Sam from the bootlegs. He has the same type of van, but his is a dark gray. But yeah, there was 4 or 5, at least 6 minivans here at this meetup.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how everybody builds their minivan or doesn't build it. Some folks lay the seats down and throw a sleeping bag in there, and you're good, right?
Exactly.
Or you can make it as fancy as you want. I'm looking forward to posting an update on yours, because I did another tour of Marshall's, and he made some modifications that really help you, makes it livable inside. And one of those was your coffee station that you did.
Yep. And this was kind of by accident, because I was just really trying to leave. It's a removable shelf because I need it to access where they store the jack and the tire iron for the van. So I didn't want to move those from the location that was already
Or
set
block
up.
them when
Or
you
block
needed them
Yeah.
the most, right? You have a flat tire and you can't get them out.
Exactly. That would not be fun. So I made a shelf that sits there, kind of above where that little cubby is, and it just kind of came together that I could have my coffee maker there and my water supply, my everything I need for coffee I could have right there. And so it's like my mini coffee shop, and I can make coffee directly from my bed when I wake up in the morning, or I can make it from outside the van.
Sure.
From the hatch.
And you recently put a solar panel on top, and you use that to keep your jackeries charged up. Is that right?
That's right. So the solar actually is dedicated to the big jackery I use, which is the Jackery 1000, and that jackery runs my refrigerator 24/7. I have a smaller jackery I use to charge phones, batteries, lights, all that kind of stuff. But the big jackery, I want it to make sure that, if I experience an overcast day, I'm going to have a few days of power with that big jackery.
Oh, okay.
And
So
it works pretty well.
What would you estimate? A few days you could run without having to recharge it now?
Yeah. Well, before I had that panel, I could probably go about 3 days with running the fridge.
Okay.
And it also would depend on how often I'm opening the fridge too.
Sure.
In that time. But usually just getting in there for like the main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I could run it about 3 days.
Okay.
Before I would have to recharge it.
And so you can pretty well park anywhere. So you're traveling across the country. You came over from Kentucky. You're going to lay up for the night. You could pull into a parking lot somewhere, put up your window coverings, and no one even knows you're there.
Exactly. And now that I do have the solar on top, they'll see that, but it still doesn't say someone's living there. To me, I mean, it's just anyone could have solar. They could have a business they run out of their van. It could be, any type of small business. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why you would have solar on top of your van. It doesn't have to be just because you're living in it. But yeah, it's.
Have you ever got the knock?
I have not got the knock. I need to knock on some wood here.
So no one has ever knocked on your door and said, "Hey, you can't park here"?
No. Now I have had some knocks on my door from YouTubers.
Oh yeah,
wanting to come in and see what I have going on, but no knocks from anyone telling me I needed to move. But I try to be smart when I'm picking my spot to sleep overnight, and I don't go for like the obvious spots at Walmart's usually. I tend to lean more towards like hotel parking lots.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Cracker Barrel sometimes, although I've heard they're cutting down on that now. But one thing I do before I park, and sometimes I have parked at Walmart parking lots, is I'll try to find an employee that works at that business, and I'll try to check with them before I do it. Even though they say it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, I like to try to get the permission first, because I don't want to get towed while I'm in there or anything. Have that additional charge. So I try to ask and get permission before. It's not always I'm not always able to do that if the business is closed.
So I'll bet hotel parking lots are probably some of the quietest.
They are because people come and park in the hotel parking lots, and then they go into their rooms. So you're left out there pretty much. I mean, you'll hear every now and then people coming in late and parking, but they're pretty quiet, honestly.
Pretty quiet.
And they're usually well lit, and they usually have security cameras around the hotels. So I feel safe in the hotel parking lots. I usually look for any of the Hilton brands, but I'm not picky really on hotels. There were a couple in Tucson, actually. One of them is called Lodge of the Desert. Awesome hotel. They have a wall all the way around their property. And they actually have a sign that says overnight parking this way.
Really?
Yeah. When you pull in. So that was really cool. But yeah, that's
Did you see any RVs or
I did
trailers in there? Okay.
RVs. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that.
Yep. And I don't think they're really set up. Now there were a few trailers that were coming in, but there's not like a dedicated trailer parking. So they had to like park across a few spots.
Okay.
So it is possible for like one night, or probably just one night, honestly. I try not to do multiple nights in the same place. So I would do one hotel, leave, go find the next hotel, and just keep that going. And then after maybe a week, I would go back to the first hotel. That's if I'm camping somewhere in a city where I'm going to be for a while.
Right.
Yeah, when you're out here in the desert, it's easier because you can park anywhere really.
Yeah.
On
And you have
BLM.
14 days in the BLM area where you can stay 14 days, and a lot of people do that. In fact, I've met people out here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument who spend the whole winter out here.
Wow.
And they said they haven't been kicked out, but they move.
Yeah.
They move sites. I think the rule is 25 miles. You have to move after 14 days, but I'm not sure if they. There's fairy dust. Good morning, Brene. Or afternoon. Yeah, it's still. What time is it? 9:50. Joy is here. Good morning. Good morning. What are you doing about the national park permit thing on federal lands to film? So we're actually in a monument.
Yeah.
And so we're not in a national park. We're actually in a monument. And as far as I know, the monuments are not restricted. So
Yeah, I haven't heard about the monuments yet. Now, I have been following the national park permit thing. I just don't shoot in national parks right now.
right, nobody can shoot in national
Yeah.
parks. Yeah. Can you shut that heater off? Yeah, I think it's getting
Ooh,
warm.
it is getting warm.
Yeah. We have a little buddy heater. Push it down and then turn it to the clockwise. All the way. There we go. So I had a buddy heater in here to warm
Ooh.
things up, and it's over warming us now. So it's working good. Michigan Carol is here. Good morning, Michigan Carol. Storyteller Donnie popped in. Thank you for being here. Wow, we have 30 folks in the house, Marshall.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, must be
Yeah.
because of my guest.
No,
RG.
I think because it's you're here at the meetup. I think.
Oh, RG is here. RG Arizona.
Hey, RG.
Let me see if I missed anybody here. I said hi to Storyteller. I said hi to Sue. If I missed you, I apologize. We're having a good conversation here about our meetup. Dee says, I really enjoyed this live stream. Got to get busy editing a video. So far behind. So are we, huh?
Yeah, I'm very behind.
Yeah, me too. So thanks for coming in, Dee. Appreciate it very much. And check out Box Van Dee's channel if you don't already know her. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's my sister, Tanya. I could use some desert right now.
Well, come on out.
Yeah. I think she had a pretty brutal winter this year, as they normally do up in northeastern Iowa.
Oh, wow.
Good to see you, Tanya. Thank you for being here. And one of the things that we looked at while we were out here is this iconic mountain that's called Ragged Top Mountain. And some of you have seen this video before, but I think it's a really good one. I got up close to Ragged Top with my drone, and we spent some time out there during this meetup. All right, that was the Ragged Top Mountain, which is pretty cool. It's about 3,200 feet elevation, and it's very unique in this area, the type of rock that's up there. And there are bighorn sheep that live up there. We didn't see any, did you? No, I didn't see any either. But we were cruising around there, went up to the base, and that's something I enjoy doing because Oki and I live out here in the monument. We live about 4 or 5 miles down the road, and so this is our backyard. We were able to show people petroglyphs. We were able to show folks the Sasko ruins and the old ghost town up there. We were able to show folks, of course, Ragged Top Mountain. There's also a really nice dispersed campground in the northern part up by the county line. And we stopped in there. And there were some folks that came from out of state, from back east, that haven't seen a lot of cactus. And so they had a lot of questions, on saguaros and how long do saguaros live, and how long does it take for them to grow an arm? So questions like that. And the answer to that, by the way, is 75 to 100 years to grow an arm on a saguaro cactus.
Wow.
And then there were folks interested in other cactus. We've got small little pincushion cactus that have beautiful flowers in the spring, just all kinds of things. So out here, you think of the desert as like a desolate sand trap, right?
Yeah.
And the Sonoran Desert is really much more than that.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of life out here, from the plant life to the wildlife. I was looking up a trivia question for my live stream and noticed that there's actually quite a lot more wildlife than I knew about. For example, there's actually an endangered pygmy owl that lives here in the Ironwood Forest. So I thought that was pretty neat to know. But there's a wide range of wildlife that lives in the monument.
And the pygmy owls, you don't roost in a tree. They actually burrow into the ground or a hillside.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, you'll see them standing. You look down and there's a little owl standing next to his burrow, and so, yeah, I had forgotten about those that are out here too. But of course, you have the coyotes and the javelina and things like that. The good thing about this campsite is it's pretty open. I think somebody reported a kit fox came through.
It did, and it came almost right up to our campfire where we were sitting. I actually got a few video clips of the fox.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. But it was at night, and we were shining a flashlight on it, which didn't seem to bother it. But he was coming back because the previous night he had found bread that was left out from someone. And so he was coming back the second night to see if the bread was still there. And
yeah, they'll come back, and I think
it was cool to see it.
Yeah, in Kentucky, what do you have to watch out for critters coming in at night?
Snakes,
raccoons, maybe.
Raccoons, possums, gophers.
So if you're camping, it's always a good idea to secure your food.
Yeah, for sure. Some parts there are bears too.
Bears, yeah.
Yep. Some parts of the state. I'm not sure about like the cat cougars or anything like that. I think maybe wildcats, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, we also have bobcats here in southern Arizona, and we've seen a few of them on our trail camera. We didn't see any out here, but it was nice. Also, we saw some really nice, and I mentioned it early, some really nice poppies up north there. And so we've had some pretty good rain here over the last couple of months, and so the wildflowers are starting to come up, which are really pretty and interesting to see out here in the desert.
Yeah, it's neat to see because these poppies were yellow, and there's actually a lot of grass that's starting to grow. And so it's just neat to see the contrast between the bright yellow blooms of the poppies and all of the green of the grass and the cacti that's around it. It was really nice, really neat to see on our outing yesterday. We got to drive by a large patch of poppies, so it was really neat to see that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I posted a picture of that on my Instagram account.
Cool.
Fairy Dust was asking me about wildlife when she moved in and set up camp. And I told her I didn't think the bears would bother her, but she might have to say hello to a mountain lion strolling through.
Oh, man.
But Fairy Dust, I think you made it through okay.
Yeah, I think you did good. And thank you for all the coffee, Fairy Dust.
All right. Let's see. Roy and Becky says we'll get stuck down again. Like I think it. Oh, okay. He's
Talking
having
about
a
the-
conversation.
They're talking
No
about the national.
scorpions. Talking about
Oh,
what?
no. The national park ruling about filming.
Yeah, I hope they reverse that.
They need to, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's kind of unconstitutional in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see it for big companies that film movies, that come in like down to old Tucson.
Yeah.
They film movies, and sometimes they'll film in other locations to get footage.
Yep.
They have their own location. They do a lot of filming down there, but a national park should be restricted or at least permitted for those large companies, right?
Yep.
Not for someone who's visiting and taking a video of a geyser.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
So hopefully, sounds like they're taking off with another glider. All right, we're coming up on, we hit an hour here. All right. So thanks everyone for being here. I see we have 27 in the house, and
Oh, there's Ron.
Joy in the Parks.
Oh,
popped
Joy in the parks. Hey, Joy.
Yeah. Did you see Ron here?
He's at the bottom, near the bottom.
Oh, Ron Sees America. There's Ron Sees America. We had fun, and Ron did a cute little video of he did a live stream and had me as a co-host, and we did a little skit there on me looking for Ron because he was late to his live stream. So go check out the replay for Ron Sees America on his last live stream. That was pretty funny. I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, he says I've been listening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, he said hello to Sue.
Uh-huh.
And there's Crystal saying hello. Don't forget your thumbs up. Appreciate it,
Yep.
Diane. Thanks for saying that. And thanks everybody for being here. And thanks, Marshall, for coming in. I enjoyed the chat. And thanks for everything that you did to set this up. You're kind of the glue for this meetup. And if you don't know that Marshall has a blog, it's mellownomadic.com.
That's it.
And so on there, you give advice on folks that are thinking about becoming nomads. And what kind of information do you provide?
So I do have a couple of free downloads people can sign up for. And once you sign up, you get the free download. And you also get subscribed to my weekly newsletter where I send out tips and information about the nomadic lifestyle directly to your email inbox. The two downloads I have, one is called the Nomadic Life Starter Kit, and it talks about just the different types of rig options that are out there. It goes over some of the systems you need to have in place if you're going to do a nomadic lifestyle. Basically, it takes you from not knowing anything about it to at least now you have a good idea of what you need. I have some links in there to some resources like boondocking guides, conversion books. If you're interested in like the bigger vans, the cargo conversion vans, I have links to like some guides that will help you build that out, as well as some resources at the end of that Nomadic Life Starter Kit. It's basically an ebook. And so if you go there, you can sign up for that ebook and that'll get delivered to your inbox. Then the other free gift I've created is just a national park checklist.
Oh, okay.
So it's just something you can print out or have on your phone just to show you all the national parks, and they're in alphabetical order by park name.
Very good. Very good. All right. So be sure to check out mellownomadic.com for that information. And thanks everybody for coming in today. Appreciate it very much. And we will see you next time.